Alright guys, welcome back to another video for my behind the scenes channel. Be sure to subscribe if you like to see what other photographers go through as far as wedding photography, portrait photography, engagement photography, anything. These are some of the photos that I took. I'll show you why I took them, where I took them, why this was the hardest wedding of 2021 so far. Even though it was a small backyard wedding, it was difficult. Alright, so we're here. My car's parked over there. There's a sign that says 1 hour parking unless you have a permit. She says that we don't need a permit, the owner. So I hope that's true. This is the house where it's going to happen today. And I'll show you what I have to work with in just a sec. This is the backyard that we're working with. This is where everything's gonna happen. The bride isn't here yet. Her stuff isn't here until 10 in the morning, until 10. So then we'll get everything that we need to photograph. But this is where everything's happening. All our stuff is here because this is the room that we have to use to work with. I'm trying to figure out where to take pictures. This is nice shaded area, so I might actually go here, maybe use this to take all the details. Or come over here and use that white thing with the white wall as the backdrop. I'm not quite sure yet. What do you guys think? What should I use? So I decided to use this as the backdrop. I just cleaned this table with this rag that I asked for. And that's what you do sometimes to get shots. So as you saw in that GoPro footage, I asked for a rag, I cleaned off that table, I came outside. Why outside? Because outside there was shade. And then there's this nice background with the greenery. Normally I would want to do this indoors, but indoors the lighting wasn't great at all. And I could have made it work. It just would have made it harder on me to do that. So why not come outside, get all the shots of all the details, which really at this point weren't that many because things that were left for us to take pictures of, they were not that much. There were not that many things as there were supposed to be. Those came later. But I did have these things, and there are some challenges to shooting outside, namely the hose or anything like that. So, you know, at first I didn't clear it out, but I did, and then I got some great shots. So I decided to use this table, this backdrop, because of everything you've seen here. Like, what this is the space that we have to work with. This is where we need to stay. And in this room, I was gonna use that white table and the white wall, but it just didn't look good. And plus, we don't really have all the details with us, so we're just photographing whatever there's here. We're kind of waiting on them to come so we can start using them. So on this day, we had a few things to photograph. I think I mentioned that, and not much else. Everybody else wasn't there yet. We got there at the time that we're supposed to, but people were supposed to come a little later and then they ended up bringing the rest of the things that we needed to photograph. So here we're basically just taking a whole lot of shots of the same things over and over until there was nothing else so we could do all kinds of angles. See, that one's a different angle, and then top down angle. There's a lot of things that are being done here. So we kind of overkill on the detail shots, I think. But that's just because if I had just stood there, I would have felt like I was doing nothing, which I would have been doing nothing, and that to me feels wrong. So I always want to do something. You can see the aperture I'm using is at 2.2. I mean, you can see all my settings, right? Basically, I'm exposing for the objects. I'm trying to use a darker background to be able to not have the picture blow out. Like if you look towards the upper left right there was a whole lot of sun, but I try not to get any of that in the shot so as to not have this little part of the picture that's blown out. Plus, having it at 2.2 gives you that really nice bokeh effect like that. See, I think that looks cool. That looks nice. It makes for a nice picture. Right here I'm using the Sigma Art 50mm lens, which is actually one of my favorites. The Art series from Sigma is just, I really like them. I know people have a problem with the focusing on them sometimes, especially I think I heard the 35mm Sigma Art. but I haven't really had that. Occasionally I do get some back focusing though, I will admit to that. So like I said, we did overkill on the details, but finally people came and now it's our chance. That guy walked in on my shot. So here, notice where I put them. We're in a backyard, and in a previous shot with my GoPro, you saw the space that I had to work with. It was really tough, and this is what made this wedding the toughest wedding of this year. That if I were to put my camera, point it in a different direction, I would have gotten towers with wires in the background. If I had pointed it the other ways, I would have had more of the tables and things in the background. This was the only place that I could put them where not only there is a background that's semi-neutral, but also the sun is behind them. This is what's important. You gotta place the people with the sun behind them. Otherwise, the sun's gonna be on their face. And even then, in these pictures, the sun's not completely behind them, as you can see in that guy's forehead just now. So now the mom came and I thought, okay, let me get some shots with you and your mom. The groom was already ready, but we got some of these shots, so I pretend to put it on. And I went back to that spot that I was doing the details at, because this is basically the only spot where there was shade. This is the only thing I had to work with. This or the front of the house. But I couldn't do it in front of the house because the bride was about to get there and the groom can't be there. That would kind of ruin things. So we came here. And as you can see, I'm doing my best to not get the super bright parts of the picture in the picture, but you know, in some pictures it's okay. I did get some close-ups, turn some into black and white, try and avoid the hose, which is difficult. If you're doing full body, the hose is there, but I can live with that because this is a backyard wedding, and just because it is a backyard wedding doesn't mean that you have to have all the trash cans and all the things in the picture. Do your best to avoid them. Since the ceremony still was a way to go, I took this time to get some of this, like I said, with the mom, helping him get dressed, her son, give him a kiss on the cheek. Then the father came and some more family members came, and we used this same spot to get the shots. Right here, I have her positioned to the right, moved to the right more, because if she had moved to the left, her face would have been in the sun, and you don't want that. It's even worse when one person's in the sun and the other person isn't. That would totally ruin your exposures. So right here I have my aperture at 2.8. I probably would have been better off putting it at 3.5 just to make sure that everybody comes out nice and sharp. But everybody did come out nice and sharp, and the reason for that is because I have everybody on the same plane. Everybody's nobody's ahead of anybody, nobody's behind anybody, and so they all came out sharp. But still, like, that's kind of being not careful, I suppose. Like, if I put it at, there you go, I put it at 3.5 because this little girl is in front of them now they're not on the same plane, so I did go up to 3.5. Therefore everybody's sharp. Had I left it at 2.8, I don't think that she would have been quite as sharp. Here I am taking all kinds of variety to the pictures, so I did all three of them. The little girl jumped in the picture. She wanted to be a part of it. And then I get some with the dad, you know, handshakes, nice candid ones if possible. So you get all kinds of shots, and then you move on. Now they started setting up the tables. So I took advantage of this and I went to go photograph it. I chose the most pleasing background and I took the shot. Usually it helps if you blur out the background, especially if there isn't a whole lot back there that you want photographed. So I have it at 1.8 right here. See, just getting every little thing that I can possibly get. The flowers, the details that they're putting all that effort into placing. You gotta get all that. So I really like the Nikon Z6. It's the camera I'm using. I love the colors. I don't really edit these photos and make them look completely different. I like the colors that I get. I just enhance them. I use Capture One Pro. So here, look, I'm getting some candids. I'm using the 70 to 200. They have no idea I'm photographing them, but I think these make for really nice pictures. I know a lot of people like these kinds of candid moments, like unscripted, don't look at me, just do your thing, and I'll get the shots, I'll get the reel. So these are the things that I was photographing earlier. See, this is the way I like to photograph these details, is on the tables where they're supposed to be, not individually, but I had them individually, so I took that time to do it. Here's the bouquet. I went back to that same spot because, like I said earlier, this is practically the only spot where there is shade. So the bouquet came, and so did the bride. She's actually in her room, so I'm taking this time to get the bouquet. I have it at 3.2. I could have easily gotten away with it being at 1.8. It would have looked even more blurry in the background. Her rings are here, so here I am trying to use the macro. By the way, macro shots to me are the hardest, the most difficult, because man, you got to keep that thing steady so much. And the aperture really should have been higher than that. Should have maybe been at 5.6 or something. But, you know, I like to do everything at 2.8 or below if possible. And that looks really nice. I really like how that looked. If you watch some of my previous videos, you'll know that I'm a hybrid photographer, meaning I go from photos to video seamlessly. Like right here, I'm doing video. And the videographer that I'm with, he can use this footage to maybe, well, maybe not that footage because that didn't come out very well, but I did get it, and he's able to use that. Right here I'm getting the ring solo. Macro shots are like so hard for me, but here we go. We got that shot, good. And then we move on. Throughout the video, you're going to see some photos intermixed with video too. So here's a bride. And we came outside. We came outside because inside sucked. It was messy, it's horrible lighting. And here I switched to video. But I have to get to my settings to be able to get the video. Change the white balance, change the exposure, and there you go. You can use that video clip for a nice video. Well, to be used in the video. What do you guys think? Is hybrid photography something you want to try? We came outside here and I thought I would get a few video clips of people just doing their random things, getting some stuff for B-roll for video maybe. I took some shots of this too, but thought, hey, let's get a little video. Why not? So this is the ceremony location. Everybody's here. The sun is up there. That's pretty good. Okay, so things get a little bit more interesting and more difficult here. I always want to get the best shots. That's what I want, the best shots. But here it's like everything's working against you. There's stuff in the background, it's fine. It's supposed to be there. It's a backyard. But look, they're walking in the sun. But then as they approach, you can see there's shade coming up, right? Your exposures are going to be different. So how do you do this? How do you get the right exposures? Can you switch that quickly? Yeah, you could do that. But what I did is I took a few test shots in the shade. So once they get to the shade, bam, 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 take the shots. But not before. You see, that's the kind of shot I got. Wait till they're in the shade. Go, get it. Get a bunch. That's the way that I would recommend anybody who's doing a wedding like this to do it. Wait till they're in the shade. Now, get it. You see? Otherwise, you'd have to quickly change your setting from in the sun to in the shade, which you could do. It's just going to be harder. Okay, you got it. For your happiness and for your I keep You saw a little video that I did of the groom waiting for his bride, or looking at his bride as she's walking in, like right there. Wait till she's in the shade, take the shots. Same thing as before. So here I switched to single point, you see? Because I don't like continuous, because continuous may focus on somebody's face that I don't want to be focused on. So I switched to single point, and here I am trying to get the best angle to be able to shoot this wedding, which was difficult given that it's in a backyard and there is no space. But here I went behind the bridesmaids. You do whatever you can to get the shot, man, because if you don't get it, that's on you. No matter what situation you're in, no matter how much space you don't have, you have to get the shot. Like, you have to. At the same time, don't be rude and obtrusive and then just, ruin the wedding, but get the shot. Here I go from the bride to the groom to the guest. I mean, I am getting every shot there is of everybody. Everybody here is important. I mean, that's what you would say normally about a wedding, right? Everybody there is important. They got invited to a wedding. But keep in mind, this is a COVID time wedding. Everybody who's here is the cream of the crop. This is like the select few that got invited. So if I take a second to take a photo of that guy, or this guy, the people, the bride and groom, they're gonna appreciate that.
Now join in a lifetime together as they live life to God's glory. With this in mind, to be married to when would you step forward and receive your bride? Spiritual contract or covenant, we call, of marriage, there's actually three parties involved. A man, a woman, and so with that in mind, some things from the...
Alright, so you just saw some video clips that I took, right? I am going between photo and video, and I'm doing that because I can, and so can you. It's really easy. It will give you a nice highlight video, or it will give you supplemental footage for a longer video if that's what they hired you for. So I am getting quite a bit of it. I'm getting some of the guys, some of the girls, and I'm taking photos of all this. Don't think that by doing video for a few seconds, you're missing out on photos. These are moments right here that you can easily get in photo and video, because this ceremony is gonna last like more than 10 minutes, 20 minutes. In this case, it lasted an hour. So I had plenty of time. See, there I go, getting some of the shots. Some of this shots. I move around. It's not you're outdoors. It's a Catholic ceremony, but it's outdoors, so I have more leadway into what I can do. So I'm getting all kinds of shots. See, this is what makes this so hard though. That sun is right on her. I hate that, but there's nothing you can do about it.
And so now answer I will. And Veronica, will you have Bill to be your wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holiest state of matrimony? Will you submit yourself?
The sun is coming towards the right of this picture, and it's basically hitting everybody, and it's hitting them with dappled light. What that means is that the sun is hitting a tree, and the tree is casting some shadows, but not across their whole face or whole body. You just have to work with it and try and expose somewhere in the middle so you can recover some of the shadows and bring down some of the highlights in post. That's how these pictures look nice, in my opinion, and not completely blown out or too dark because of the contrast between the light and the dark. So right here you can see the sun is in her face, not so much in his face, but he's still squinting, so maybe he's still getting some of it, but it's in her face. And that must have been uncomfortable for her, but that's just the way that it went down today, and you have to do the best you can. I've got two cameras on me. I always have two cameras on me. I have a third in the back just in case. But right here, I have two cameras. One has the 35mm Sigma Art, and one has the 70-200 2.8 Nikon lens. With these two lenses, to me, I have so much variety. I can stay far back and get these shots. They don't even know I'm doing it. I don't have to be up front. I don't have to do any of that. I can get every shot that I can with these two lenses.
Offers a symbol of your vows today. That is beautiful.
So even though this is the toughest part of the day, it's also actually the easiest. Things are out of your control. You do the best you can. You capture everything as it goes. Generally, to me, ceremonies are probably one of the easier parts of the day because you're there to just capture it. You're not there to dictate. So here I am capturing it, and I'm doing it the very best way possible, which is with the most variety possible. I get up close, I get far away, I get all kinds of shots. Here you can see I am getting these shots straight down the aisle or the grass, and there they're going for the kiss, get the shot, single point, zoom in a little bit since I already got it, and then I go to a landscape, got it, get some shots of people laughing. You know, you can get all these shots super quick. So right here, maybe you're wondering, what's going on? Isn't the kiss signify it's over, the ceremony? Well, not today. Today we had two ceremonies, which is why we're still here. They kissed, and now they're doing the Spanish portion of it for Catholic side. The first one was a Christian ceremony. So they're doing all these things. This is called the aras in Spanish. I don't know how to say it in English. Wow. It's these coins that they're exchanging. So look, I'm getting close. I mean, you can see the variety, right? I'm getting the variety because this is what, even though it's a backyard wedding, to me, this is more intimate. This is super nice. This is not anything less than a big wedding where they spend thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands, thousands of dollars. This means more, as much as any other wedding, no matter where it takes place. So they want the variety, they want the shots, and I'm here to give it to them, and so are you. Okay, so the second ceremony is winding down. So here they are walking down. I changed to continuous focus. So here I am tracking them as they walk, getting all these shots, trying to get this shot so that when they're not in the sun, but hey, that's not always possible. Like right here, there's more sun. So this is the part where we go to the front of the house to take pictures. Here I'm using the 35mm lens. They're using a 35mm lens to take group shots. It makes perfect sense, but I don't really love the look of that as much as I do shooting a group shot with my 70-200, which some of you will be like, why would you shoot a group shot with a 70-200? If I have the space, I will do it. I like the look of it more. This shot here, it was a 35mm lens, and you can see how it looks. It looks nice, it looks good, but the shots coming up, you'll see this 35mm, it's nice, but this is a 70-200. The compression is different. I just love the look of that a little bit more, and if I have the space, I would pretty much shoot most of my shots with the 70-200, or as far back as I could, is what I would do. For those of you getting married, the shots that I like to take are the group shots, of course, but I like to get individual shots of the bride and with all her bridesmaids, the groom with all his groomsmen, and then every single combination that I can, time allowing. The one bad thing about this spot here is that people kept walking. You can kind of see them in the background. I didn't edit those pictures, but you know, I was taking a whole bunch. Here they are, some nice ones, some funny ones, some laughing ones, some vertical, some horizontal. Here you go, look at me, smile, perfect. Now give me a funny one, it's coming up, and They do that, and they're gonna love these pictures. Every time you ask them to do something, look at each other, smile, go ha ha ha, laugh. It makes for one more picture that you can give them, and a variety of pictures is, to me, what's key. But not just variety, you want quality. So look, these are super cute, super nice, showing off their personalities, how silly they are with each other. I love these pictures. Let me talk about settings here for a second. I have it at 2.8. Why? Because I'm shooting pretty much at like 150 millimeters. So I can pretty much guarantee you everything that I want to be in focus is in focus. I have it at, the shutter speed's kind of high. That's because you see sometimes I have them moving, laughing, hugging, and some of that action is pretty quick, so I don't want to miss it. And I have it on face detect. Normally I think I would have it on single point, but I think I was trusting the camera to get the face detect, and it worked really well. I really need to start trusting the camera to do that instead of me focusing on the middle point and then recomposing every single time, because this worked great. So here we get some silly ones. You can get these shots super fast. I mean, like, it takes a few seconds, a few minutes, not seconds. I'm not that fast, but you can get these fast shots super fast, so long as the videographer doesn't get in the way like he did right there. Get some funny ones. And then this happened. I didn't get behind the scenes footage. She got a ticket, it sucks. But now we get the group shot. Everybody is there. Hands are left over right, bouquets are at the same height. Get the nice one, get the nice one. Everybody's eyes are open, good. Now we get a silly one here. So I'm gonna tell them, hey, kiss, all right? And everybody look at them and be like, hey, get a room, man, come on. That's like super cheesiest photo you'll ever hear somebody take, or maybe you'll take it yourself, but it's kind of funny, I think. What do you think? Here's the kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Oh, look, God, look away. You don't want to see that. Come on, guys. And then I take a little video of it. Super easy, super fast. Just a few seconds. 60 frames per second. Slow it down. Oh, there goes the veil. So we get my veil shot, which I'm sure is everybody's veil shot. Grab it. Get the groomsmen to grab it. Somebody without heels. Throw it up. And go for a picture. Any moment now. What's going on? There we go. And they take it. They kiss. I take it. And you get this shot. Super easy. Do it again. This time look at me. And you get this shot. So super easy, super fun. Get some nice close-ups. Tell her that joke you know. Tell her how beautiful she is. Smile. Look at me. Yeah, you get a lot of nice shots that way. The portraits of the bride and groom are among the most important, so you have to make some time for that. Otherwise, your gallery is going to be missing some very important photos. So you got to make sure you make some time. Get some shots of them together. Get some shots of the bride alone. Get some shots of the groom alone. Some with the groom's mom. I mean, there's so many different photos you can take. So we're done with that. Now we're going to the dancing. Why did I choose here? Why? There's people everywhere. So why did I choose this spot? Can you guys tell? The sun is behind them. The sun is behind them. You don't want it in their face. And it gives them that nice rim glow of light. And I do single point, take the shots right there. See? Super nice, super easy. You can see the area I had to work with. I could have shot in any direction and still gotten people in the shots, but right here, the sun's kind of coming into my lens, so that's no good. I gotta move to this spot, see? Here, it's nice. The sun's not coming into my lens, and I can get the shots. I'm using the wide angle camera, the wide angle lens, and the 70-200 to get a variety of photos. Now it's the groom's turn with his mom. Same reasoning here, same thing. The sun is behind them. Try and get the shots with them in focus, them in the face. For that, I'm using single point. And here you go, bam, bam, bam. See, those are really nice. Luckily, they turn pretty well, so I'm able to get them like that super easily. Switched over to video. This was supposed to be a 4-hour wedding. We ended up staying 2 more hours, 2 hours extra. That's because whenever you think you need 4 hours, that you usually need more. It's just what happens. You need more time. So they needed more time to do all these things, and I wasn't gonna rush them. I'm like, no, you go ahead and do it. We'll just stay a little bit longer. And we ended up staying 2 hours longer. In technical terms here, I'm using single point. I'm focused on her face, and she throws it, and it's all good. If I had used continuous, I would have ran the risk of it like focusing on somebody in the background, and I just cannot miss this shot. So I took the shots single point, got all these shots, always with the sun behind them. I told her to throw it that way because if she had thrown it the other way, with her, the sun would have been right on her face, and it would not have looked nice. So I dictated how this stuff went down because otherwise you wouldn't get good pictures. I really don't think, not with the sun in their face. Single point focus here. Focus on his face, recompose, got the shot. Shutter speed's pretty high, 1/400, got it.
Good save.
Wait, before you... Hey, just one place.
To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 5 out this time.
So we switched spots here. The sun has gone down enough that it created some shade, so they are in the shade. If the sun was still pretty harsh, I would have had them turn the other way because that's where the sun was throughout the whole day. So now they're in shade, the background is blown out, that's okay. Just make sure they're in focus, they're good. Single point focusing, 3.5 here, and the shutter speed's appropriately high enough so that things are in focus and they're not blurry. Get some shots of them eating their cake. It looked good too. Oh, yep. It did look good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You're gonna see the rest of the pictures that I took of the whole day. I mean, I took so many. I ended up delivering over 800 photos for this wedding, and you can see the variety here. If you're a photographer learning how to take pictures, especially weddings can be so challenging because you have to be a portrait photographer, a landscape photographer. You have to know a little bit about everything, and it's challenging. But if you're somebody that wants to learn and these videos help you in any kind of way just to see what it is that I go through, please subscribe. It's super easy. I am currently at only 70 hours watched to be able to get to that monetization goal. So I'm really trying here to show you things that normally you wouldn't see. And this is what I go through to get these shots. So if you're somebody looking to learn, pick my brain, contact me. If you're somebody that wants to hire me, maybe, great. I am here. I'm on the Knot. I've gotten 5-star reviews for years and years and years now. You can check out my work here on these videos or online on my website at lunabellaphoto.com. I'll have the link below, and you'll see here how I can get you the best shots possible. Plus we can chat about your wedding and I can give you some advice. So please, yeah, contact me, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video.